What's going on, Phantom Thieves? The Persona 5 Tactica reviews are officially here, and having reviewed it myself, I'm excited to bring this video to you because the reviews are weird. And when I say weird, I mean they're kind of all over the place. Tons of praise, but then tons of praise, but the reviews don't equal the praise, if you know what I mean. It's like saying this is great, best spin-off ever, 7 out of 10. Very weird stuff. Well, whatever. I'm Dom. I'm from the Game Looters, and today we're diving into these weird reviews. We're going to take a look at Metacritic, where there is a ton of reviews. There's over 15 reviews for the Nintendo Switch, which seems to have the most reviews that we kind of have bundled together. But the reviews they do have parity across PC, across Xbox, and PlayStation. But the Switch we're going to focus on because those have the most review. And for the users here or people on the channel and the community, you guys seem to play things on the Switch the most. So I think that's the way to go here. In this video, I'm going to also be kind of giving you my, not impression, but my kind of like talk about the reviews. That makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to be giving you my opinion based on my experience on what they're saying on the reviews. All right, this will make sense. Let's jump into the video. Hit subscribe, hit like, do me all those favors down below, because not enough of you are subscribed. If you're watching, you like my face, you like what I'm talking about, come on, join the channel. Okay, so let's go and dive in here. And essentially what we're doing is we're jumping into Metacritic. So over here, as you guys see, we have the Nintendo Switch, but again, it's on Xbox, PlayStation, and then Steam is somewhere lurking up in here. But right now, the Metascore is sitting at 77, with generally favorable. Basically, it has 14 positive reviews and 4 mixed reviews, so no negative reviews on Persona 5 Tactica, as it should be. And if we look through here, we can kind of read through some of these reviews and what they're saying to us here. So we're going to kind of go, just kind of spread through some of this. And like I said, we're going to kind of read through some of these reviews, and we're going to go all the way down to the bad reviews, and I'll kind of give you my impressions or my opinions based on my experience, where we here on the channel gave Persona 5 Tactica a 9 out of 10. Check out my video up top right now. Okay, so without any further ado, so 77 Metascore. Let's start off with Nintendo Life, where Nintendo Life said Persona 5 Tactica is a thrillingly very tactical RPG that fans of Phantom Thieves and the genre should take note of. It's a little on the easy side, but the varied gameplay, excellent soundtrack, striking visual, and lovable characters all make for an easy recommendation here. We especially suggest you pick this up if you really enjoyed, the Persona 5. Where did we go here? Sorry, guys, I lost this. We especially, if you pick this up, if you really enjoyed the original Mario and Rabbids Kingdom battle, which I agree. As we know, a lot of parallels can be drawn between the two. It remains to be seen if this is the last time we'll see the Phantom Thieves don their mask, which it's not. But if this turns out to be their finale, Persona 5 Tactica is a massively enjoyable send-off for the beloved crew. And there's rumored to be a party game coming, so there's probably not going to be a last time here. There's also the mobile game that doesn't feature Joker, that also has some of the characters, though, do cameos in. So this won't be the last time we'll see them for sure. And when it comes to Persona 6, Persona 6, we might see cameos in that game as well, too. One thing I will say, though, about this specific review is they do say it's on the easy side. That's if you probably play on easy. I would say normal does actually give you a pretty good balance, and then the hard mode is pretty hard. And a lot of the quests that involve you having to do things in like 1 turn or 2 turns or 3 turns, they do get quite challenging. I've almost wanted to throw my controller. So not easy unless you play on easy or safe mode. And then, of course, if you play on those 2 modes, easy is a decent challenge, but yeah. And then safe mode, you just don't do that. All right, God is a Geek. Let's see here. The Switch port of Persona 5 Tactica is absolutely wonderful, and it's a perfect game to play portably thanks to its lovely bite-sized missions. Okay. Nintendo's Persona 5 Tactica is a good spin-off of the franchise that introduces a rather interesting story with new characters and a cute chibi art style. Very, very cute. We found it's experience that we appeal to both fans of Persona 5 and strategy video games. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't even know what this is. Persona 5 Tactica has to accept compromises to its name model, but it carries out the genre changing with flying colors and offers entertaining tactical fun for fans of the Phantom Thieves. I don't know what compromise. The only compromises this game really has is there's no confidant or like there's no confidant building. There's none of that stuff. It's just basically story elements, bang, 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 bang after. But you do get to go to Cafe LeBlanc between each mission, and there is ways to kind of build out your relationships, but it's kind of pre-written for you as opposed to being choice. Games Radar. Games Radar is pretty notable. They put here, while not particularly revolutionary, I don't agree with that at all. Like this, Persona 5 is a turn-based RPG game. How much more revolutionary do you need to provide a game in a tactical RPG style with a different art style, brand new soundtrack, brand new characters, brand new story? Like, what else is revolutionary to you? Not going to say the word idiots, but whew. Persona 5 Tactica is certainly moving. It's easy to imagine it's fanning the flames of rebellion, to use the game's own pretense, in the hearts of players. It's not all-encompassing as a mainline Persona and lacks some of the charming odds and ends usually present in them. But it's hard to fault a new kind of spin-off that's mechanically competent and features a compelling narrative. So this is what I mean by it's weird, right? It's not particularly revolutionary. Yes, it is. It's not as all-encompassing as mainline. It's just more bite-size. Okay. Pocket Tactics. Though the Phantom Thief's journey never seems to end, you can't deny the games are good, and Persona 5 Tactica is no different. Play as Joker and company in a different setting and stretch those strategic muscles across challenging and fun stages, wrapped in a delightful story. So here's another thing, my friends, is we keep saying, too much Persona 5. We have too much Persona 5. When are we going to move up Persona? The reality is all of us, I'm going to put me in this category of Persona fans, absolutely love the Phantom Thieves. We love the 100, 200, 300, 900,000 hours we've spent with these characters, min-maxing it, platinuming it, grading it across different platforms, etc. We love these characters and we love the time that we spent from them. And at the end of the day, with Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal getting the spin-off, it introduced even more characters. It introduced a twist to Akechi, another character that we hated, that we suddenly loved. It introduced Kasumi into the mix here. And the reality is the Phantom Thieves aren't out of high school yet. We have one more year of high school. We have a couple of our characters in college. These are still young characters that we can do a lot with. The metaverse, like they've shown us in Strikers and they've shown us now in Tactica, the metaverse, or a variation of, can come back into the mix, and there can be a really compelling story within this world. So unlike people saying, oh, well, I don't want any more Peter Parker as Spider-Man, I don't want any more Bruce Wayne as Batman, I don't want any more Clark Kent as Superman, they're not saying that about those characters. If anything, they're saying, I want Iron Man back, I want Captain America back. Why are we being victimized or vinticized or whatever the word is for wanting more Joker and company, right? Think about it that way. What's wrong with a sequel? What's wrong with more? It's a very weird thing about this series and the people that do not like it. All right, we have Silicon Era. Silicon Era says, I had a lot of fun with Persona 5 Tactica, especially after I took the risk to crank the difficulty up, which is something I suggest people do on a strategy game, so friendly fire would be enabled. The characters, personas, and concepts all adapted well into the genre shift. Atlus also executed in a way that makes it easy for people to new tactical titles can wade into without encountering too much barriers. I do wish there had been more elemental elements to it and certain characters didn't feel too perfect for every situation, but it is entertaining. And I appreciate the creativity behind the design direction. See, once again, I know for a fact this specific person reviewing didn't play all the subquests within the game. So when you have Persona 5 Tactica, in LeBlanc, there is a subsection called Quest. Think of all the side quests, and all these side quests have a gimmick to them. Do this side quest in 1 turn. Do this in 3 turns. Only do this with Arena. Only do this with Joker. Only do this with Anne and Yusuke. Only do this with Yusuke and Makoto. They all have a specific gimmick, and if you crank up the difficulty above normal, then it provides a really, really, really hard challenge. So when it says here that it might be too easy, it might not have enough nuance to the difficulty or to the way that the game is, I know that they just beelined the story only. Again, no shade on reviewers. I only had so much time to review the game. I totally get it that time is very precious and you're trying to make sure that you at least have the breadth of the story and the game itself. but the game provides a ton of additional content that provides that difficulty that you might be looking for. A lot of times you don't want to get stopped with such a difficult boss that's too hard to overcome, because then you won't continue the story. But if you want a challenge, you can do it through the quests that provide their own small storylines to themselves that complement where you are in the story at that time. So I'm telling you guys, if you guys get the game, do the quest. All right, let's look at some ones that aren't too favorable. This is RPG Fan. Persona 5 Tactica wasn't the mechanically satisfying nor thematically engaging tactics game I hoped it might be. However, if you want to spend more time with the Phantom Thieves, you will find a fun diversion in the turn-based tactics and an emotionally affecting narrative during this 25 to 30 hour journey. It took me 42. I commend Atlus for trying something more serious and impactful with this Persona spinoff, even if it doesn't quite stick the landing. Again, the same things I just said about the other review, I'm saying here once again. And again, 25 to 30 hours, like I felt like I didn't do every single quest, but I did most of them. I didn't do a lot of side content, but I did try to, get my compendium out, and I was just over 42 hours, maybe 43, something like that. But I was north of 40 hours. So already 25 to 30, that tells me that they didn't look at anything else and just went on, maybe created a persona or two as they went on. Let's look at some non-favorable ones. This is Nintendo Insider. The thing about roller coasters is that some of the best ones have moments of downtime, but ultimately remain thrilling and fun. The ride didn't leave me change it anyway, but I certainly want to get back on and go again. But then they gave it a 70. They liked it so much that they want to give it another go. 70, 7 out of 10. Okay. Digital trends. Persona 5 Tactica strategic elements are its highlights, but don't expect it to take your heart. Completely disagree. Comicbook.com. This is the last one that we'll read, my friends. This is Persona 5 Tactica doesn't capture the magic of Persona 5 or even Persona 5 Strikers. It may remind fans of Persona Q, dungeon crawler spin-off designed for the 3DS. Those games have their fans, as Persona 5 Tactica surely will as well. Yet, while the game has its moments, there are too many flaws to earn a full-throated recommendation. Who live at the intersection of Persona fan, tactical RPG fan will likely find this least a look, and diehard Persona fans probably won't want to miss another fan of these adventures. More casual Persona enjoyers will be fine passing this on this outing. This didn't really say anything. This just basically said they like Persona 5 and Strikers. They don't like Q, and this is like Q, which it's not like Q at all. Again, weird review here from comicbook.com. All right, my friends, those are all of the reviews for Persona 5 Tactica. Again, watch my reviews watch my review in the pinned comments. But I'll say this: Persona 5 Tactica is another gift to Persona 5 fans who don't want the ride to end, don't want the adventure to end, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is another really cool, compelling story that offers twists and turns and two awesome brand new characters in Arena and Toshiro, who is a politician in Japan. If you're familiar with the story, you know how important politics are in reference to Persona 5, and they offer another character with that. Just like Persona 5 Tactica offered somebody of the police detective division, this one offers somebody from the political division, and it's really awesome the way it sees its end. I highly, highly cannot recommend this experience even more to Persona fans. To those who aren't Persona fans, this is a harder recommendation because the knowledge going into this, finishing Persona 5 or Royal or even Strikers, is it's gonna take your story from maybe an 8 out of 10 to like a 10 out of 10 kind of thing. So that's my final thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about all these reviews in the comments below. I'll see you in the next Persona video. Peace out.